Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey all, Carly here. This week we're joined by Mary Payne of the Pink Shade podcast to break down all things Welcome to Plathville. Hope you enjoy it. This is Season 7, Episode 6. The Birds and the Bees. I'm still traumatized.
Oh my goodness, yes.
The last thing we needed was the Kim and Barry kiss. I really thought we were going to get it, but we didn't. But we're here today, and we are joined by Mary Payne of the Pink Shade podcast, and we are very excited to have you here with us to talk all things Plathville.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. This is my favorite subject in the entire world.
We feel that.
I just told my sister at lunch the entire story from beginning to end in about 4 minutes. And I said, you're lucky because it's a Tuesday, so we're going to get to watch it live.
Yeah.
So she's very excited. Oh. She's worried about Lydia just from the little bit I've told her.
The lore, it's so hard to go in depth with. There's so many layers, there's so many levels, there's so much involvement as far as what's going on. But we were nervous about this episode, and then we were like, oh, thank goodness we don't have to recap it alone. We have Mary Payne to help us through this. We're going to be able to all get through this together. So I think that's a good place to start.
Okay, good.
Before we get into it, let's talk Veronica, because she has been a big subject of debate. Some of our TikToks we've been posting of clips of the episode, there are just very, very strong opinions about her. So what's your take?
Well, listen, it depends on what the subject is with Veronica. Because, when Micah first started dating Veronica and they weren't official because they were filming the show or whatever, she posted on her Instagram a picture of the two of them together and was like, welcome to summer or something. And there was like a video camera emoji and her, film reel emoji, whatever. So of course, immediately all the people that were eagle-eyed, not me, somebody found it. And so I followed her, screenshot what she posted, clipped it down and put, it looks like, on my Instagram, like, look, Micah's got a new girlfriend. She was a public Instagram account. And she, within like 24 hours, wrote me back. And I didn't know her from shit. It wrote me back and was like, please take my private information off of your public Instagram. I was like, you have an open profile.
Yeah, set that thing to private.
Yeah, what are you talking? So I did. I wrote back. I said, no problem. Like, I didn't give her any attention. Now, in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have kept it going with her so I'd have more access to her or not. So there's that aspect of it where there's several aspects, right? So there's I love kind of how she's blowing this shit up. She's just throwing firebombs and walking forward. Like, I just love that aspect of it because I believe 98% of what she says, sometimes it doesn't quite add up. And I love that part. Okay. She's like the emoji of the little crazy girl with like the fire burning behind her. Right. I love that. But I don't like how she's treating Micah. I don't like how she speaks to him.
I mean, especially this episode. Well, last episode was very apparent as far as the sort of shift that's happened in the relationship, because that's what we were trying to think about. What is there to gain for Veronica for sticking around here? And I think it's just to tell her side of the story, because otherwise she would have just disappeared in the off season. And then the Plaths would have built their own narrative here about how horrible she was and all of the terrible things that she did.
How boring would that season have been?
So lame.
I mean, last season, the end of it with the Plath family band getting back together, it was like excruciating to get through the last few episodes of that. And I feel like we would have gotten a replay of that, but an entire season of just Lydia's wedding.
Because at least Plathville, they let the talent, so to speak, produce the show a little bit. And that's what we saw last season with Kim coming up with the Plath family band narrative. And that was the whole storyline.
And she's like, I'm not a drunk, nothing to see here.
No, there's nothing else to talk about.
I'm living on a boat. Not with KK Ken.
No.
No, she, by the way, never for 1 minute ever lived on that boat. No. When she got her DUI, her address was Ken's.
Yes.
Ken.
Ken's. Yeah, it's easy to find. It's got all the burning crosses in the front. So
it's got all the slave collars as doorknobs. Just whatever you need, whatever your slave memorabilia is, it's at Ken's.
A lot of folk art, yes. Not okay. Not okay.
Well, let's get into this episode because we start out and they're starting to prep for the wedding at the farm because they've got, 3 to 4 weeks to go?
Yeah,
time's running out.
Timeline is short for this one. And there's a lot to do, a lot of roots to pull, a lot of vines to cut.
And Amber and Ethan are back from their trip to Boca. And so they're here kind of debriefing with Barry and Isaac about how everything went. And obviously, the report's not good.
Not so good. Not at all.
I felt like Barry was very excited to talk about Veronica and what happened.
He's right in there. He is that girl at the lunch table. Is like, tell me everything.
He's into the drama. I mean, they were talking shit about Veronica, about how she's so dramatic. And like, Barry, you're not much better. That's why they were kind of besties at first.
Well, which is crazy that he's like drawing it out of Amber, because Amber's the one who she keeps letting us know she wants to be neutral. And I think Amber likes to be neutral until she's not, because then once you're on her bad side too, she's going to start poking jabs at you as well, because she's been poo-pooing on Lydia's timeline, her wedding that's coming up here.
She
how
has
fast.
opinions.
She has opinions.
She's acting like she doesn't like to share them, but she does willingly and freely express them.
So maybe it's she doesn't like being caught in the middle of fights. I think that was the distinction that we kind of arrived at a little bit, where she has her opinions, but she doesn't like to voice them as publicly.
Well, she's always going to side with the family. She's never going to side with an outsider. Veronica, as much makeup as you do together side by side at a makeup table, she's never going to. It's never gonna happen.
She did have a good point talking about the way that Veronica's speaking to Micah, because that was, I mean, not just uncomfortable for the viewers to watch, but to think about having guests in your house and to witness that.
Yeah.
Especially siblings. That I didn't think that it was right of Amber and Ethan to walk in on it when they saw that there was actively a fight going on.
Not good.
No, Ethan's like, we're just checking on you guys. Well, we are two adults having an argument in the backyard. Get out of here. Yeah.
You could clearly see that before you came out here.
There's a difference between
you're lurking,
conversation,
right?
An argument, and a fight. And we were basically like right on the edge of between argument and fight that was happening.
By the way,
there.
Listen, that house is, standing up on 3 sticks. They could have put an ear right to the drywall and heard the whole thing. But I'm saying they didn't even have to crack a window. I mean, I think they could have heard it from where they were in the kitchen. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there was no reason to lurk. They could have, because I just want to hear what's happening. I just want to hear.
Maybe they were just trying to intimidate her. Now that I'm thinking about it, just stand there and watch, get a little closer.
Like, is that how fights were resolved in the Plath family then? Is it
just stood around and watched?
Enough neutral parties come and just make you feel uncomfortable for talking about your emotions and your feelings, and then you just move on. You just brush past it, bury that deep down, and then just keep living your life.
All that's correct except for the first 50 words you said. The only thing that was correct was brush it deep down. None of the rest of that ever happened. If there was there's nothing. They have said themselves, and we've heard from Olivia very clearly, like there's no conflict resolution. It is interesting too that Lydia has said either on the show or she said on that crazy podcast she went on with the Jay and the Ginger and the Duggars and the whatever, that she said that it was so nice to be with Zac's family because when they have conflicts, they sit down and talk about it. And she's never had that before.
It's like a whole new world. Yeah.
It's a whole new world. So why doesn't she move to Colorado?
I don't know, right?
I don't know.
That gives me hope for their relationship, though, that's where Zac's coming from and that's his background, is that they actually address things in his family. But I don't think that's going to go over well with the Plaths the more they get to know him.
That's because that's what Olivia tried to do, was like, let's address why me and my husband, who were 23, cannot drink a beer in front of people. So let's address it. And they're like, no, because your sinners are going to hell and whatever. And then meanwhile, click to 1 year later, Kim's out here running the town in her Costco skirts, getting DUIs.
Yeah, how the turntables have turned. It's amazing, isn't it? And they forget all of that too, that was like the genesis of the issues with Olivia, or all these things that they have now come to accept and live as part of their lives.
Well, and the scary part is now they're conveying all of that, all of these emotions, all these distinctions that they've reached, the conclusions that they've arrived at with Olivia. Oh, I'm seeing all of this taking place with Veronica too. Look at that. It's this whole pattern that's repeating in their heads now, and they're assigning all of this additional responsibility.
It's like she thinks that we're out to get her or something. It's the same way Olivia felt.
This
like,
us versus them.
Because they're literally having a conversation where they're setting it up as it's us versus her now, that nobody feels comfortable around her, and it's all because of what she did. Even though Barry then addresses that he doesn't think that she's a liar, which is the entire, like, that's the whole fight they're having. That's why she's upset. Just go tell her that.
Right. But it's also cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that she keeps saying, he called me a liar. That is my character. And he's like, no, my dad said you lied about this one thing. That is my character. She cannot get over that splitting hairs. All Micah has to do is call dad and go, look, she knows you called her that you lied. So she has got this in her head that now you think her character is a lie. Can you please just let her know? I don't care if you text her. I don't care if you send it through carrier pigeon. She doesn't. Just let her know you don't think she's a liar. And the whole thing is solved.
You would think. You would think it would be that easy.
Well, and Barry was very quick to clear that up for the cameras, for the viewing audience, but then not very quick to reach out to Veronica, because that's a whole bunch of extra steps that Barry's not really planning on doing today.
But that's a great example of, I think, the stuff that Olivia was trying to bring to light is that they are very different people on camera than the people that they are behind closed doors.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that was right there. We're seeing it happen. But this wouldn't be a problem if they could just be, Veronica could be more like Kaylin or Tegan, who have been here for about 15 seconds and everything's great with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't disagree. Yeah, like if you go back in time and Veronica was the new person in the family, yes, this would be going well. It would be going fine.
Well, I mean, hang on to your bootstraps, Kaylin and Tegan, because my understanding from what Olivia told me that happened at the wedding was Veronica called Kaylin a whore.
Ooh.
And that's what kicked off the fight between the boys.
Very interesting.
That they resolved very quickly and then all banded together to go to Veronica's house to break in.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's funny just because she was on Reddit talking about what was going to be part of the season, or she didn't really know, but the events of what had happened. And I don't think that she ever mentioned that the fight was caused by anything that she said.
No.
But that is what Olivia told me. Yeah.
A lot more to come.
Based on the episode descriptions that we were reading for the rest of the season, that tracks, that aligns, and even just the next time on preview at the end of this episode too was pretty revealing as well.
Well, she's going to start stuff with Kaylin and with Tegan.
Oh, yes. Very quick here.
Why? Just like get them on your side. Be like, these people are all crazy, right? We're trying to take them down together, right? Like,
I think she tried.
But
she tried with Tegan at least.
Yeah.
And it was just, Tegan's just white noise,
TV
static. There's nothing happening there.
Blank stare. Not a lot going on upstairs there.
I'm actually excited to see her get upset about the accusation that Veronica makes about her, just to see some type of emotion come out of her, because we've gotten nothing so far. She's so boring.
Character range.
How quick did you Google that? Does Tegan have a? It would took.
That was my first guess.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, that had to be what it was. See?
Yeah.
I mean, what does that say?
Yeah, it's
everybody's head went to the same place. It makes a lot more sense. I'm kind of not sure I really believe the story that this all started from her DMing Ethan after having seen him on TV. That's what everybody believes has happened.
I like your motorcycle. That's what she said. She liked my motorcycle, and I saw her pictures, and I said, I like your motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? Big boobs.
I'm kind of wondering who was sending DMs to who. That's,
which way that went. The path of discovery there. Seems like.
It also makes me think that, part of being on the season perhaps is getting her a paycheck so that she doesn't need an OF paycheck anymore. That could be part of what's happening.
Now you can turn to the righteous, straight, and narrow and join the Plath family. You don't need to be doing the OF photos anymore.
disturbing, isn't it?
That's a very, very, very scary, scary imitation. I just would have closed my eyes. I was right there.
Well, I guess then they had a point when they're saying at the end of like this scene that we saw with them on the farm that they're starting to worry about how Veronica's going to behave at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're worried about
rightfully
her.
so.
They're worried about her. I mean, yeah, but then what does that say too? Because now you're all just whipping everyone into a frenzy before they're going to go interact with her. So what does that set the stage for?
Nobody's worried about how Ethan is going to act at this wedding.
Oh yeah, with lighting the fires. No, he's totally going to be. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, and the whole time going, hope she says no. Hope she says no. Damn it! Like,
yeah, I'm still upset about that. I don't know if you saw Lydia posted 18 parts to her story on Instagram about her proposal. And one of the things that she mentioned was that Ethan approached her. It was the day before the proposal to talk about how he didn't like Zac.
Yeah.
And I'm still holding that against him because I think that was terrible to say that.
Well, we saw that on camera.
Yeah, I don't think we realized the time frame it was like literally the day before the proposal that he said that to her.
Because then she was crushed, coming over to him and, hey, maybe you can spend time to get to know him a little bit better. And he had zero interest in that. So
what were y'all thoughts on when Zac and Lydia went over and visited the rowdy bunch? The rowdy guys.
Gosh, yeah, the dinner at the cabin, Isaac's friend's cabin.
Oh my gosh. That was horrible. I'm still upset again. Like the laughing at somebody who's in the room with you is just, it was so immature, and it was upsetting me a bit that it seemed like Lydia was trying to pretend that it wasn't happening rather than addressing it. But afterwards, you could tell that she was aware of what happened and upset about it. She just didn't say anything in the moment.
And you look back.
But Zac was like, something you want to like share? What are you doing? They're like, what? I was like, it brought me so much like middle school heartbreak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To be that person that sits at the table and everybody has a joke about you. That's why I think they should move.
Mm.
Yeah, I understand that he has probably good job prospects in Florida with tennis and coaching tennis.
True.
But I wonder how long they'll last because they got to stay far away from the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as long as it's not Cairo, though, because I feel like that would be way too much, because then he wouldn't have too many job prospects, I don't think, for how many people are trying to learn tennis in Cairo.
It's all very within 45 minutes of each other.
Okay, yeah.
It's all
so
intertwined.
Close. Yeah.
I keep getting y'all off track. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. The side conversations are good.
This is good.
You want to go to Micah and Veronica trying to resolve things for probably the umpteenth time?
Well, I think that's where I'm giving Veronica a little bit of leeway, because it's like we are seeing her at this stage in the relationship, in these arguments. How many conversations haven't been filmed where you are getting to the same exact result every single time, talking to this guy where you're not getting anything out of him, you're not seeing any change, you're not seeing any improvement. So I can tell that there's a lot of frustration here as far as Veronica.
That's very clear,
to say the least. And then she's not going about it in the best way, though, also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, it was funny because they were describing how the fights between them go, and this is how we argue. This is one of the problems that we have, is that I want to address something in the moment, and I get upset when Corey will kind of like freeze up and have to take some time to think about something before he responds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, when are you going to say something? Because then it starts to make me feel like I'm being dismissed or like it's being ignored.
Yes.
So I knew exactly what she was explaining and how infuriating it can be. But I'm worried that because she already ticked so many people off with the way she's behaved the last few episodes, that there's not going to be a whole lot of sympathy for her in this conversation.
No, and now that Micah told Ethan, she's been talking to Olivia, then it's over now. I mean, now Ethan's like, now she's my mortal enemy, and as the eldest son, everybody must do what I say because I'm the eldest son.
Yeah, and I think people, like listeners, forget that they really thought that Olivia was possessed by demons.
Literally, was the belief.
I'm sure they think that she has tainted Veronica's mind and that there's no coming back from this. Like,
because, it's damaged goods now at this point because, her brain is corrupted.
Yeah. She let the cat out of the bag on that a little too soon.
That would have been good to bring up
but
at the wedding.
she doesn't have any impulse control. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's also, she reminds me a lot of what I call the Kelly Dodd effect from OC. Just says the meanest thing at the tip of your tongue and just like, you're ugly, you're fat. You know, it's like that. It's that idea of, I'm just going to say the meanest thing. I'm not going to, you just keep that inside thoughts. Don't look right at your boyfriend of 2 years and be like, you're wormless, spineless. You know what I mean? Just think it maybe, but just, there are other ways you could say that to get your point across.
That is where I was landing to when we were talking about this earlier when we were watching it, because I was like, to say those things, that's not constructive.
Right.
Especially if you're trying to work through things at a relationship level here, you're doing more damage than anything else. So even though she feels that way, it's not good to say those things because then you are doing harm in that moment through what is being said there. So is there a way to say, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel like, is there a better way to communicate these things? Because I think what she's trying to get here is, hey, you need to stand up for me when it comes to your family, when they're picking on me, when they're bullying me, when they're outcasting me. You need to defend me. And I don't think that that's the response that she's expecting, or like if that is what she's expecting, I don't think that's the way to get there.
It's never going to happen, by the way. I mean, that sounds great. That yes, you should defend your partner with your family. It's never going to happen. And by the way, next week or, the week after, Kaylin or Tegan's going to do something and those guys are not going to stand up either. The only person I can actually see standing up for their partner is Lydia.
Yeah.
And it would have been only if God told her. But I do think
in that
Jesus will tell her.
In the prayer closet.
It's like the Merrifields. You know how Garrick Merrifield used to go in the garage?
Yeah.
And God in the garage would tell him to take another wife?
The breeze.
As he's doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
Divine
and then I think the same with Lydia. Just she goes out to a tree and God says, stick up for your husband.
Right.
So I think it'll happen. Yeah.
Well, maybe more of them need to have some conversations with whoever they think they're talking to that tells them to do the right thing, because we're not getting there.
No. Very.
No.
Yeah. She has you can tell, and Veronica admits in the conversation that she has a lot of issues with self-regulating her own emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The whole conversation about being overly emotional and the fact that that was said to Olivia as well is obviously a Plath family problem, because it's not just like that somebody has too many big emotions. It's if you have any emotions, which I think is what she's trying to explain to him. If you have any feeling about the way somebody treated you and it's negative, the way that they approach things is to not ever address it, which it's funny because when they went to the farm for the proposal, the conversation that they had in the cabin beforehand was, well, today's not the day to address it. But then afterwards, in the last episode, Micah was like, well, I thought that it all got handled that day on the farm. Which
How? By who?
How?
Because they went and they stood there and nobody said anything to each other. So it's over now, right? Like we came face to face.
Because you could just keep
so
doing
you can keep doing that and it'll keep the peace.
That was good. Stick with that and just keep doing that. That's what the expectation is going to become.
I got to tell you, that would be easy if you weren't involved, if you saw them just Thanksgiving, Christmas or whatever, that'd be easy. I hate these people. They hate me. We sit down for a meal twice a year. It's fine. I can live my life. I live here in Palm Beach. They live in Cairo, Georgia. It's no problem. But the problem is they're so enmeshed and there is a TV show and you got to get on board, sink or swim, girl. You know?
Well, and that was what the other part too was. Micah was saying that he hadn't seen anybody since they filmed the last time. So it seemed like filming is the reason why they're getting together. I don't know if that's something else that they're just going to blame on Veronica for keeping Micah from being around the family or keeping him too busy with all of his fence businesses that are happening and
remodeling her house,
remodeling multiple houses now. So if it's just her fault that he doesn't come around much, but it seemed like filming was the main reason why they're getting together.
Yeah. Ethan said the same thing though. that he hadn't seen anyone since they had gotten together for the family reunion, the band reunion.
The family band, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think they really only get together to film, which makes this even weirder.
I wish I could pull up my my little chyron that I put every time they talk about the whole family. I've met the whole family. They talk about the whole family so much. Every time I pull up a picture of Hosanna with like a little grave. R.I.P. I'm sorry she died.
Why did Kim throw it in reverse around her? Or?
No.
Oh, no. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
that
too
was
far.
bad. Too far. But yeah, it's just like they act like she doesn't exist. But she is at the wedding. I think Olivia said she does go to the wedding.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that'll be interesting to see if she is somewhere on camera. You think they'll just blur her out like they did Veronica's, like the side of Veronica's face?
Yeah, they just kept filming behind her for a while there where she wasn't doing the face reveal.
I'll be thrilled if they show Hosanna and her husband on camera. Mm-hmm. That'll be exciting. That'll be very exciting for me.
And Barry's grandchildren that he just, I guess, forgot that he already has.
He's ecstatic.
Wait, what? Now, because I do know that Barry has a first wife somewhere, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he has another kid?
No. So Hosanna has 3 kids.
Okay. Hosanna has 3 kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So,
right.
Or it might be 4 now.
In Ohio.
So he already has grandchildren, but they act like Hosanna doesn't exist. So they're making it seem like Lydia's going to be
grandkids don't
the one
exist?
to bring them their first grandkids.
Right.
It'll be so great. I'm just feeling that urge. Lydia, for you to just bang it out with your husband.
The sooner the better.
Barry is so gross.
The need for firstborn. I don't know. Yeah, does she owe him something? Was there a promise, a deal that was made? I don't know. Does she owe her firstborn?
I don't need you to talk to me about sex. No. You're my dad. You're disgusting. And he's just like, other things are going to be happening. Like, ew, quit thinking about me and my husband.
I think that this is Barry's facade that he's putting up to look like this is what he thinks support is. That this is how he's going to be the supportive dad, is to encourage them to have, to get married, to have like a ton of sex and have a bunch of kids really fast, to bring them around to hang out with him, because it's always a competition between Barry and Kim at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I also think that Barry's assumption is usually when it's like, oh, there's an accelerated timeline. What's the reason for that? And it's always like, are you already pregnant? No, we're waiting until we get married to even have our first kiss. Oh, okay, so then you are running down the aisle so you guys can bang. Like, that's what it comes back to, is because that's what the only logical reason to rush into this now. And it's like, well, it's very different for them. They've had an extensive history of getting to know each other and hiking various mountains. And we heard about it. Oh my God. We heard about it endlessly. And it's just the ongoing tale.
It sounds awful to me. Sounds terrible to have to hike and talk and get to know somebody all at once. No.
Yeah, not a favorite activity. No.
Well, we got into kayaking, and then I think we talked about...
We went kayaking one time.
Okay, we went kayaking one time a couple weeks ago, and I'm like kind of into it now, and I like want to get a kayak. And then I was talking to Carly about, hey, there's some people that they'll like throw a kayak on their back, hike up a mountain, and then like kayak down, like
that's never happening.
So you went kayaking one time and now you're going to hike up the mountain with the kayak on your back?
I don't want to do that. I personally don't. But then I was letting you know that, hey, there's
people that do that.
There's people that do this
That's
stuff.
too extreme for me.
That's too much for me. I'm more like, I don't even want to get like a rig to put it on top of my car. I'm like, that's too much of a commitment. I'll just get some pool noodles and like strap it down or something. Or maybe we'll just get an inflatable one we're still kind of deciding.
I have a kayak and I literally don't know where it is. It's here. No, because when we bought this beach house, it came with 2 kayaks and they are at a kayak slip somewhere on this island.
Yes.
I have never seen them.
To hunt them down.
And I guess at some point they'll send me a bill to like pay for the kayak slip and I'll be like, huh? No.
Is there an address?
Yeah. You've never even seen them.
I've never seen them, but I've heard that they exist. But you can have them. If you can get over here, you can have them.
Sounds good. There's a slip, so there's no mountain. Right. So that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
There's no hiking involved.
A better launch for me. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. You could go into the marsh and hope to not get eaten by an alligator because that's what we deal with here.
You want to go to wedding dress shopping?
Not really.
Not
but
really. Well,
know.
they're going to make us do it.
This felt like a different show, didn't it? I mean, like, because of course they're going to go with the format of say yes to the dress because that is the gold standard when people go wedding shopping on reality TV. But like, didn't this feel like a totally different show than what we were just seeing with Veronica and Micah?
It did until Moriah showed up.
Oh, gosh.
Bringing all the negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
You know...
Well, maybe when she moves to Montana, we're going to see a little bit less of her.
Do you
I'm
think?
hoping.
How could we see less of her? She is already barely there.
She almost didn't show up to the proposal.
Almost.
And she really didn't want to come to this. I mean, she's just like, no, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah.
Bless her. She's not well, and it's very worrisome.
But like, why? Because then they're attributing it to some of the reasoning is almost like, oh, it's Veronica that messed her up. And I'm like, I don't like how that's shifting now, because it was the devil in the suit and tie that they were attributing all this yucky energy to. And that's what broke Moriah. And now she is a hollow shell of the human that she once was.
I'm not really understanding why they're making it sound like the relationships that she's had have been serious enough that I guess marriage is a point, like an issue for her, that she feels like either she should have been married by now or that she's terrified of marriage after having 2 relationships go poorly. Or
she's sour against marriage because maybe these guys promised marriage and didn't give it to her, so now she can't be happy for somebody else getting married.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like the whole thing. And it starts off, we know where the energy comes from, because right when we get there, we have Kim and Live, Laugh, and Love, the youngest girls there.
Yeah. And
she makes sure to tell the woman in the dress shop that someone else is coming, but she's always late.
As usual.
Yeah, they all shit talk her before she arrives, because that's the Plath family way. Yeah.
Kim loves to get in a last jab. I mean, it's sad, like you said, because it's obvious that Moriah is dealing with a lot, that she's not okay. And it's stuff like that I think explains why she has such a negative outlook on herself. And then the things that have happened, like as she's gone out into the world and had bad experiences, have only reinforced the things that Kim has made her believe about herself.
When she was like 16, they kicked her out of the house because she wanted to wear a miniskirt and go bowling. I mean,
now we have Kim wearing mini skirts everywhere.
Well, skorts, mini
skorts.
No, they're skorts. Those are 3-pack at Costco. Yeah,
they're skorts. I don't know if they were supposed to be mini, but they end up being mini too in some cases. But
yeah, she's living her hot girl summer all the time, all the time. She says, "I'm out here doing. Look at me, I'm making Barry jealous." Did you like how last week it was like, well, if I got on the apps, I think I would like a woman that was into physical fitness.
Yeah.
We get it, Gary. We get it, Barry. We get what you're saying. Yeah.
Somebody who would hike up a mountain with a kayak. And then
that's what Barry's looking for.
That's what Barry's looking for.
Someone he can chase, if you know what I mean.
That's what, I think that's what it is. It's the thrill of the hunt is what we landed on. Is where he's going for it. Oh, gosh.
Lydia tries on a bunch of dresses. She looks amazing in every single one of them.
She does.
Carly was so mad. Carly was so mad when we were watching it. She was like, she's going to look great in every single dress.
There's going to be nothing to talk about because anyone that she picked would have looked great.
Do you guys love Lydia's confessional look that she's got now where she looks like she's the head of the garden club and the PTA?
The off the shoulder?
Yeah, but it's the hair.
Like
the hair.
Yeah, she's got it slicked back a little bit in the front. It's almost like a little bit of a 60s style hairdo that she's got going on.
Well, we've never seen her with anything other than a side part and like frizzy curly. And now she is sleek and she is ready to lead the junior league of Tallahassee. She is ready. I was like, whoa, all of a sudden she's like, this is like, Mad Men housewife style,
She got a hair straightener plugged in that prayer closet.
She leaned right in. Is her new house going to have a prayer closet?
Ooh, I hope so.
For her and Zac?
Maybe Zac will build her one.
She's got to go with a double wide prayer closet now. Yeah, room for 2. I think so.
You never know what happens in that prayer closet.
Oh, well.
I will say some of the dresses didn't fit the standard of something that was free to frolic in.
Oh.
No.
which is apparently like the top thing that she's looking for in a wedding dress.
Yes.
I myself personally have never shopped for a wedding dress, but I didn't know that frolicking was a consideration.
I don't think that the woman who works there has ever heard that when she's asked what they're looking for.
She's not going with like mermaid, so it's tight so that she has to take little steps.
Yeah.
Can't be
She needs to take
restricted.
wide steps so she can barefoot run through the trees. And she's going to be in a tree in a picture. Don't you worry.
Oh,
Don't
No
you worry.
shoes, just completely barefoot.
well,
Always.
she'll be rubbing her bare foot on Zach's shoe in that. So
Yeah.
just like in the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
episode. Yeah, that was the big announcement episode. Golly.
At least she's consistent.
You know,
She is who she is.
God bless her. God bless her. She's so sweet.
Amber also had to make a little comment about how she's not in a rush to get married like some people are.
some
side-eye.
people.
That's great because you're 15.
Yeah.
I've
So
lost
that's
track of how
awesome.
old she is at this point. She's
15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she really should not have been involved in some of those conversations with Veronica.
It's not for children. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fights are much too good for children. So, yes,
Not for
she
children.
needs to leave. That's
Mhm.
what's going on. Even though she is gainfully employed, she is doing, line dancing and
Line dance instructing and
some-
wasn't she like working as a gymnast or something? And
something
another
else. Yeah.
instructor? I don't know.
They all must have 4 to 7 jobs to support that farm.
At least. And then don't report any of that earnings to the government.
No,
Yes,
no,
ever,
no.
Ever.
No. That's what Olivia said, that the holdup was with the divorce, was that Ethan, in the section where you had to report your money, he just put like a big X and said, I don't tell the government how much money I have.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that cracked me up when he was saying earlier this season that, I don't know, I guess something was not filled out right with the paperwork.
I guess.
You guess.
Well,
you
that is-
omitted an entire section.
That's the big holdup. Yeah.
I won't be telling anybody how much money I make. And I think it was very hard for all those kids to get birth certificates.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
most of them were born on the farm. So there's no record.
That they even exist.
Right.
Social
Sarah,
security
it's
number when they're
so-
18 so they can
Yeah,
film
it's
the
so
show.
bad. It's
How
so
long
bad.
then until we get a classic reality TV show breaking news update on them that the IRS is coming after them?
It has
You
to
know?
be worth it, though.
Like
But,
all the teen moms
yeah.
have had liens on their properties because they don't pay their taxes related to, being contractors on a show. We had Teresa Giudice, who they
Wow.
made an example of. Will we get a Plath family story like that? Is it
That'd
something
be
we can
great.
hope
I'd like for Barry to have to report to prison and see what happens. That's what I would like. That's something I'm envisioning. Kim too, actually.
And if they come after Ethan for tax stuff, that would be very backwoods Tony Soprano, which that's your assessment of Ethan when he's kicking around in those tight crotch denims that he's got rocking. But
He's
yeah.
right up in there. He
Woo.
just pulls him right up in there.
He's really only got one outfit.
It's
Yeah.
the
It's the black
jeans
tee,
and the black
the
tee.
jeans, the brown belt.
I say that in a black t-shirt. Well, it's not a plain black t-shirt, but I
And
say
he's
that.
got his skull ring on. He's got a skull ring on just so you know he's a badass. He rides a motorcycle.
So you can see it when I smoke my cigar. I blow the smoke in your face.
I'm concerned about how well you do that voice. It's scaring me a lot. Scaring me a lot.
So one of the surprises is that Kim brought her wedding dress along so that Lydia could try it on for everybody to see.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just for Kim to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This seemed like a Kim and Lydia thing. Kind of a Lydia thing.
It felt like a forced bonding experience that didn't really come naturally, that she was trying to make happen on camera.
Yeah, it was. Did you notice that the dress? So it was whatever. It was just a regular wedding dress from that era. It was fine. But did you notice that? So it has like the V going down in the bodice down, towards the legs. And did you notice there's a flower right where the crotch is?
No, I missed that.
No.
Yeah, and I don't think that was an accident. I don't think that was.
Maybe
an
that
accident.
was
It
the right dress for Lydia then.
I mean, I think it meant something. But it's so funny because she's like, my whole life I just was like, oh, there's this dress. And then she put it on. She's like, this dress is a piece of shit. Can't
like,
believe I
"Oh."
waited all this time to put this on. Oh, God.
After trying the others on, I think
Yeah.
this was a nice little experience to have done once in a lifetime, but You can pack this thing back up for Amber.
This was something that like 7-year-old Lydia was interested in, and Kim remembered that. She wrote that down, and she was like, "That's what we're gonna do." And so that's what they did.
She was hoping to save a couple of $1,000 probably too. You know, oh, who are we kidding? Barry's going to pay for that.
Yeah, we know Kim's in dire financial straits this season, so there's no way she's going to be able.
But I have to say, that's the only thing ever in my entire life that I've ever been on Kim's side. Barry should be keeping her in her lifestyle she's accustomed to. I don't care that she ran off and was with Ken. I think that he definitely should be helping her live because the kids live with her half the time.
I think that this is his way of continuing to control her, even though they're in the process of a divorce. We still doubt whether the divorce is ever really going to happen.
It felt like storyline when it first happened. And then there have been people in our Discord and in our Patreon too who have said they have family members who are divorce attorneys. And they were like, if people aren't divorced after 3 years, they didn't want to get divorced. So like, that's the speculation that we've been going off of as well.
I do think that they despise each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not pretending to not get along just so they can get back together. They're just never going to get divorced because monetarily it won't make sense. Or Barry's going to ride it out until Casper, Amber, Mercy, the littlest one, is 18.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have to give him a penny. Yeah, but I mean, she's on, say, 15.
That's long.
14. She's like 12 and a half, 13, the little ones. That's a long time.
That's a long con.
Yeah. I think he was hoping that maybe Kim would marry KK Ken.
And then he's off the hook.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to keep this going for a while because it's financially the right decision for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I keep getting us off track, but I when I talk to other people that love it as much as I do, I like to just get all the opinions.
Yeah. We got opinions about everything. So.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
So much time thinking and talking about this show. It's sad. We already talked about Moriah showing up. She
didn't contribute.
She wants to know if they have a black dress, which is for you, girl. Like Lydia's not walking down the aisle in a dress in anything other than pristine, the whitest dress she can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that was why she said no to Kim's. It was a little dingy from being in storage, so she needed something a little whiter.
Something to reflect her purity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Listen, she's earned it. She won't even kiss. She's earned it.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, she did have a kiss with someone else. Yeah, they both had first kisses separately. Where did we learn that? Was that on
the podcast? Or was that part of the Instagram? It all blurs together. The love story, greatest love story.
The longest love story ever told.
Takes forever to tell.
Did she kiss Olivia's brother?
Ooh, I don't know.
Nathan?
Didn't have confirmation.
Was it Nathan or was it another? I think it was Nathan, wasn't it?
Yeah. The brother that lived with them, that got the DUI and then went back to the fold, went back to the cult. That is who Lydia, that was who she was courting with.
Oh boy. Well,
then she got in trouble for hiding the cell phone and all that, remember?
Oh yeah.
Then what are they concerned with Zac? This is such an upgrade from Nathan. At least
upgrade.
Seems like it from what we know of him right now.
It's because he's gay.
Yeah,
Because he's gay. He's a homosexual.
Has emotions and wants to get to know my sister.
I have never known another straight man who didn't want to talk about his erect penis with me.
Nailed it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We do have a Moriah scene. So she's going to be packing to head out to Montana in this episode, which seems like odd timing because Lydia's getting married in a couple of weeks. She couldn't have held off on the move for a little longer.
Right.
I think this is the failsafe because she did say that at one point. Oh, I might need to come home in a couple weeks anyway, too, if it doesn't work out.
Just pack everything back up and head back.
Right.
She didn't even fully unpack, probably. It's a Robin move that she's doing here, I guess, from a sister wives perspective.
Yeah, keep all the boxes by the front door. I didn't realize that Amber and Moriah had such a close relationship. Because
I don't think they did either.
I thought it was Moriah and Lydia were so close.
Yes, because they were going to go to college together, remember?
Oh, my. We were robbed of that storyline.
What a spinoff that would have been, though.
Wow, that would have been a great spinoff. Well, Barry and Kim, you missed your money train on that one.
Man.
Maybe this is starting to make sense, though, because Amber acted really weird when Lydia asked her to be her maid of honor, and they don't seem that close.
She was confused.
I guess Moriah is the sister that she feels the closest to, that they're like kindred spirits or something.
She can't do anything with she doesn't know how to do shit. By asking Amber, you're just basically saying, make Kim do it.
Well, Kim was going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
well,
she's
that's
already
true.
there.
That's true. That's right. That's a great point. But Moriah, she was like, I can't depend on that vampire to come in here and do anything right.
Oh,
No.
that's true. She can't ask her.
She's
and
2
Hosanna
hours-
won't do it because
2 hours late.
She can't film.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Mariah's just going to be 2 hours late to everything. Nothing's going to get done. But I think like Amber feels like that connection with Moriah because she's the only person in the family she can talk shit with, I think.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that Moriah won't judge her on that in the same way. Because they were talking shit when Lydia was trying on dresses about how
Yeah.
it was like not that they're rushing into it. And, it was just poo-pooing the whole thing here. So it
Yeah.
seems like that's what they're on the same page about. And that's what they get along with.
Well, that and they've both had negative experiences with Veronica.
Mhm.
That's
Which
the bond.
wasn't that, again, felt very forced for her to bring that up when you're saying you don't like to be in the middle. But
Yeah.
then you're voluntarily bringing that up in a moment that's supposed to be you and your sister kind of bonding the last few moments before she moves out and moves across the country, is you're going to bring up that she's been really affected by the relationship with Veronica.
I think they're blurring all the devils in their heads because there was the devil in the suit and tie. Olivia was the devil. Veronica was the devil. So they just kind of, any outsider of the family is the enemy. And so it's as needed, whoever you need to blame it on, that's whose fault this is.
Yeah. And every time you see Moriah, and she's so sad and she is so broken, she's like a little broken bird. Every time you see her and she says like, well, I just can't trust myself to be around other people because I mess up everything. And you're like, girl, like, yes, I think horribly she spilled her heart out to Veronica about the boyfriend. Veronica then is like, well, you shouldn't get back together with him. And then she does. But Veronica has now told Micah, who's told Ethan, who's told Dad, that either the guy's married or has this kid or whatever this guy was doing. And then Mariah's like, I never said any of that. Veronica's a liar. Just kidding. I did say all of that because now I broke up with him, so she's not a liar. So I think I think Moriah feels like I don't know how to act in the world. I just leave destruction in my wake. I don't know how to act as a human in the world because I wasn't taught. So maybe if I go to Colorado, I'll know how to act as a human there. Montana, wherever the hell she's going.
Montana with no job, just a place to stay, and then lots of potential interviews was what it sounded like. What is
She's
this
just going to
mean?
be a bartender. She could just go be a bartender anywhere. You know?
And she's living off the show money, right?
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah.
at least, I don't think it's a lot of money, but it's enough to get by in Montana.
Enough in Montana. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
suppose, but I don't. The whole thing with Moriah to me is so dark, and I'm just waiting I'm waiting for something terrible to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
When they had that big reveal about how she had alopecia growing up, we thought that it was going to be some really dark secret of something that happened to her in her childhood, just because of the way that she like acts as an adult. But I think she just really has been, they broke her spirit in that house growing up. And she, like you said, doesn't know how to go out in the world and interact with people. And even in this conversation with Amber, the way she's talking about it is that she's like the fuck up of the family and you're here to learn from me. Just
Yes.
watch me do I'll make all the mistakes and you learn from it.
And then Amber was like, but you learn from your mistakes too, right? And Mariah's like, oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Yep. Even though it was like, I don't
You
think
keep making them over and over
not
again.
yet. I don't think so.
But
yet.
Amber's 15,
Yeah.
guys. Amber is 15, looking at her 20-something-year-old sister going, but you're going to fix it this time, right?
You
Yeah.
too learning? Not so
No.
much. Not so good.
No, this is just, again, I've said it before, but this is going to be a lesson for Moriah that wherever you go, there you are. And she's still going to have the same problems when she's in Montana that she has now.
She can dye her pink and get 3 more weird tattoos, but she's still the same person,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She needs a lot of therapy. I hope
She
that it
really
happens for her.
does. She really does.
As she drove off, I was like, she'll be back. I mean, like, it's only a matter of time, right? Because it was kind of like one of those weird, see ya, I guess, bye-bye, like packing up the car. She's going to drive to Montana.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Going to drive to Montana. But I mean, I guess she's there because she posted the thing with the bald and I think she was in Montana.
Yeah. That was a shocking photo for everybody.
Yeah. Weren't prepared.
Bless her.
We got to get her some good wigs.
In
Someone's got to give her
Montana.
a sponsorship.
Yeah, not what's happening currently. No. On the show, it is. I don't know what she's got going on right this minute, but on the show, it's not great.
Right.
Not great.
We put it off as long as possible, but we're at the birds and the bees conversation. Now, so Zac and Lydia are over at Kim's house, and they're working on figuring out place settings for the wedding. Which I don't know if you saw pictures of Lydia's wedding, but it was very beautiful. So, I mean, I would let Mama Plath plan my wedding to a certain extent.
Hey, they're running.
As long as she lets me have alcohol.
They are running wedding venues. Mama Plath going to let you have alcohol. Mama Plath has a flask strapped to the inside of her skirt. She's ready to go. She's ready to go.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if she has to strap it. I think she could just stick it up there and it's tight.
Friction will hold it in there.
Just stay in there. Yeah. Yeah.
She licks
it's like those
the
tennis
side.
pockets, like the tennis pockets on the side of your skirt. She's got a flask.
Yeah, forget the phone. The flask goes in there.
Yes, that's right.
Priorities.
Barry's showing up under the guise of being there to help with wedding planning, but does he do anything?
No.
We don't see him do anything helpful other than just have uncomfortable conversations with everybody.
He pops the champagne.
Does he have a key to this house? Do you think he just he really seems to come and go pretty frequently?
Suspicions. And then this is where I don't feel bad for Kim because I think she's really playing up the financial woes of how she'll be out of house and home within a year, but she has this super nice rental that she's living in. She still has all these Airbnbs that she's managing that they own together. And so it's just, I don't think she's that hard up, and I think she's playing it up a little bit.
I think she spent all her money on her car fees driving back and forth to Ken's.
Oh yeah,
and her bar tabs.
Yeah,
the bar tabs and the Ubers.
And
the attorney fees.
Oof. It all adds
for
up.
both the DUIs and for fighting Barry.
Yeah, she's trying to get the same attorneys for that, but it's just so complicated. Yeah, they need the specific. There's divorce attorney and the DUI defense, keeping them separate.
They sit down to have a glass of champagne as they're going to have this conversation. And I'm starting to question what the motive for the champagne was, because maybe it's to loosen them up a little bit before they have this conversation about the birds and the bees.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Lydia would drink a glass of champagne.
Well, one of the things Veronica has said, which again, grain of salt, is that Lydia can throw one back.
Had some margs.
It's not the first time she's had a drink.
Yeah, margaritas at the wedding. Give her one margarita, and sort of two margarita. It's it gets interesting, I suppose.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I just can't wait to see this like Coke fueled hillbilly wedding. Like with Lydia drinking margaritas. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see Zac's family, because we haven't met them yet, and neither have Kim and Barry. And their first reaction is going to be witnessing everything that happens at this wedding.
Well, and if Kim and Barry are acting like they are in their ISO interview where the producers are asking them, oh, the last time you were here, Barry, it was pretty tense. Are you guys like okay now? And Barry's explaining to the camera, yeah, it's we rally together for Lydia for the celebration, and just like the most dreary monotone explanation of we're able to put aside our differences.
That was at the wedding?
No, that was like
was
here in this house, in this scene.
Oh, I'm just pumped for seeing Mama Plath stare across the field at the wedding, like right at the camera, like she's on The Office. That's my favorite shot from the trailer.
That was the sneak peek at the mid-season. Oh my gosh, yeah, because she's looking at production like, oh, get a load of this.
She's so unamused by whatever is happening. There's so many mysteries with this wedding. It's going to be so exciting to see it unfold.
No, I mean, this talking head with Barry and Kim together, when he's just doing this like, Barry, everything is fine. And we just put it together, just put it aside for the kids. And she's just like looking at the camera like, are you get a fucking load of this fucking loser? Can you believe I banged this guy? I mean, she is just like looking at the camera like, you've never seen two people hate each other so much. And it gives me so much joy. It does.
I'm getting a little irritated by the conversations online where people really like Barry. And a lot of it is coming from how supportive he's been of Lydia in the situation. And I've always just felt that Barry's very calculated.
Yeah.
He's just as bad as Kim.
Yep.
But we don't get to see a lot of the, I guess, the nastiness of his personality that he keeps behind closed doors.
Agree. I think he is total creepo serial killer vibes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The serial killer vibes, those sometimes he can't hide. They come across.
I think on the first or second season, we decided, because we knew on the first or second seasons that he went to his job in town, which was like in Tallahassee. He would go like 45 minutes to Tallahassee, and he worked for the Highway Commission or something. Now, Lydia since said on that podcast that his home office was like in one of the sheds or whatever, which also is where he put the bodies. But
dismembered.
And the kombucha to hide the smell.
Kombucha. But we always were like, what's Barry do? What's Barry getting up to in town? I was like, I think on Wednesdays he's got a standing appointment with a lady who puts him in a diaper and just spanks him. Look, something's getting up. Something's doing in town. Something's doing in town with Barry and his Wednesday lunches with that dominatrix. Like something's real weird.
Yeah,
something's real weird.
He's making some pit stops on the way home for sure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he and Kim, I think, had a lot of secrets in their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the studio guy, the dance studio guy that Kim was parading around when she moved out.
Or the gym guy, the guy she met at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Who then she brought home to meet Barry. That was so weird.
Well, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So they're talking about how they're saving their first kiss for marriage, which then Barry has to make weird by making the obvious known that, well, if you're not kissing, then you're saving all the other stuff for marriage too, right?
Well, technically, as we know, there are Janelle rules, pretty woman rules, where, hey, if you're not kissing, you could be doing other stuff. There could
you never know.
You never know. So
we don't know where they're drawing the line.
He's making the assumption that there are other firsts that are yet to be
Janelle, so I don't watch Sister Wives. Janelle says it's okay to bang as long as you don't kiss.
We had jokes that they always talked about how they were not very affectionate in their relationship, but she had 6 kids with him. So then that's what we said. Oh, we came to the determination that they must have been going off pretty woman rules where, yes, you can...
No kissing, in front of the other wives.
No kissing, but
as soon as that door closes.
Yeah, you can consummate a marriage, though. So
that was soaking? Like, what are they doing?
Well, Barry was coming up with ideas already, too, of alternatives.
What was he talking about with the all the B words? Barry. Why was his name thrown in there?
I don't like that his name was thrown in.
Again, birds, bees, Barry, box. You're talking about your daughter's vagina. You're joking about her box. You guys, he was joking about his daughter's box. You guys.
It was hard to watch. That, and then talking about how Lydia is biologically geared to have children right now. So you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that the babies are probably going to come pretty fast.
Not as fast as you, Zac, but at least on the first times. But that's okay. That's totally normal. So it's okay.
Do you think Zac is a virgin?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm starting to think about it. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No.
I think so.
I feel like the vibes he's giving is that he made a pretty big mistake in his past, and that he's doubling down on, all of the approach to purity to make sure they don't make the same mistake again.
Okay. Yeah. To be fair, every good youth pastor has to have a redemption story arc that they have to tout as part of their, road to salvation and the lessons that were learned there. So, yeah, I could see that as a possibility. Maybe not all the way, though. He was half a virgin when he met her, maybe.
He didn't have full carnal knowledge of another woman.
Right.
Huh. I would like to know, but I didn't listen to the second half of the Duggar. I just was like, somebody tell me. I suffered through the first.
They didn't. I know when we got to I think I had listened through the first one and then got to the end, and then they announced that there was going to be a second one, and I was like, oh no, Carly's not going to like this, because you thought it was just going to be the one episode, and I was like, oh, there's two.
We split it, so I listened to the second
So I said,
half,
this
and I was
one's
like,
yours.
how did you listen to the first half? My God.
Yeah.
They had only gotten through like the first 5 days of being with each other
Yeah.
in the first half.
A lot happened.
Did you think she interrupted him a lot?
I think she was very excited, and then they were trying to take turns. You could tell that they were like, oh, this is your part of the story, babe. Like the dinner, you know.
Did you notice he was sitting in his socks?
Oh, well, I mean, he's got one up on me.
I can't judge.
No. But this is it's like a YouTube show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Was Lydia wearing shoes? That would shock me.
No, she was absolutely
Of
barefoot.
course
But
not.
barefoot is. It was weird to me that he took his shoes off and just like had his socks like up on these people's couch.
I think
know,
they
it was
were
strange.
staying there, though. I think they were
Oh, of
staying at
course.
their house.
They just
so
rolled
they were
out of
like,
bed.
house guests.
I don't
So
know.
they
I
made
say wrap that foot in a sock before you rub it on my couch.
Yeah, they
Then
get
Well, that's
comfortable.
true too. That's true too. I'm
the
sorry, you
least
guys.
you
I
can do.
keep getting you off track of the
No.
birds and the bees. I know you want to talk about it. So
No,
bad.
feet, I guess that comes into it too. Maybe that'll be a part of their wedding night. I don't know. We don't know.
we don't know their kinks. We're not here to judge.
I'm not here to shame anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Except Barry sometimes. Maybe. And Kim a little bit. A little bit.
It's
a reasonable amount.
It's really weirding me out that Barry keeps pushing the topic of having kids. And then it only got worse because I thought, okay, Kim seems like maybe she's here to bring some reason into the conversation. That she's asking, how much do you guys know about how kids come to be?
Do you know how it works? Do you know the preventative measures? If you're saying that you're going to wait to have kids, do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they do.
I don't.
They know enough.
Enough.
Just enough.
If that's the answer that you get from your kid who you've sheltered their entire life,
Mm-hmm.
do you let that end there? Is that where you just say, okay, yeah, I think they got it?
No, I think I'm going to say we're going to go. And this is what I would do, but I haven't sheltered my kids. My kids were
Right.
we're like the cursing sailor family. We're just like, well, I don't give a fuck. I mean, we're like that. And so I take my daughter to the OBGYN and go like, you go to the doctor, you talk to the doctor. I don't need to know whatever's going on. You don't need to tell me. Unless you want to. And I really don't want to know. And then they can to work it out with your doctor and come up with a plan. But I think Lydia probably is against any kind of birth control. Probably. So, that's when Barry and Kim made the rhythm method joke.
Oh, God. Barry he was so upset that Kim would imply that there are other forms of birth control that maybe Lydia may want to look into.
Mm-hmm. He's like, they better get on that rhythm method.
But then his alternative suggestion was oral as birth control, which I think that there's probably some other options in between there. I mean, again, not to shame, but like...
I'm sorry, wasn't that just a joke he was making about Kim?
He said you're going to talk to her. You're going to explain it to her orally about birth control. I mean, I think he actually was just being dorky and using you're going to explain it to her orally.
Yeah, I don't think
And
that was
then
nuanced.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. But then the production laughed. So then they laughed.
Kim
And
looked
then
mortified.
Kim
She
was
was-
terrified, yeah.
And then when they did the whole thing about the box, I can't even remember if he said think outside of the box, how the box got involved. This is your daughter. Quit talking about her box.
I felt like it was so irresponsible to end the conversation at the place that they did at the table because they know that they're not comfortable with the fact that Lydia doesn't know Zac well. They don't know Zac well. They're worried that they're rushing into marriage, that they're doing this too soon. Why would you not make sure that your daughter knows how to make sure that she's not going to get pregnant too quickly in this relationship if you're worried that maybe we don't know this person's character well enough yet?
Well, I know that before Ethan and Olivia got married, but the night before, Barry explained to Ethan about how you put the P in the V, like how that works.
I thought that was from Kim. I thought
maybe
that,
Kim.
I thought it was like before he walked down
Right?
the
Because Kim was
aisle.
like, make sure you get the right hole.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And they didn't ever get pregnant. So but Olivia was of the devil. So perhaps she used pills.
I think that was more of an Olivia responsibility, even though Ethan, from the leaked arguments that Olivia's been posting online, seems to weaponize the parenting that how do I want to say this?
Well, wasn't he just like not having sex with her because he didn't want to get her pregnant?
He's withholding, yeah, because it's a privilege to birth his child. And so he was punishing her by not being the mother of his children, I think, was the kind of general
he was
assessment
drunk,
there.
so who knows what the very
know.
drunk. So who
Yeah.
knows what the line of thinking was there? But it did sound like the solution to ensuring that he wasn't going to get her pregnant because he didn't like the way she was going to raise their children was to not have sex at all.
Right. Because what if the baby was gay?
Oh,
Yeah.
like Zach.
Or,
I mean, what are we going to do?
Right. If the
Worst
baby was
case
gay.
scenario.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just don't impregnate her and then I won't accidentally have a gay baby. Because there's no chance Tegan would have a gay baby. Right. No chance of that happening. Just Olivia.
Nope.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, you just have to make sure you raise them in a certain way so that they don't turn gay.
Yes.
Oh, 'cause
according
they turn-
to.
Yeah.
They
According
turn
to.
gay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it. Now I'm on board.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where do we end this with Kim? She did offer to Lydia that if you have any questions, you can call me, which I guess was as much as we could hope to get out of Mama Plath.
And yeah, Lydia's like, maybe about pregnancy stuff, but like not about sex. I don't think anybody needs to talk to Kim about sex.
But does she have a friend that she can talk about? Can she talk to Ginger Duggar? Could she call Hosanna? Does she? Because she might have some questions.
Moriah? Like
Moriah?
yeah, she's been
Mariah's the last person I'd be turning to for advice on that.
well, not for birth control, but for sex. I mean, yeah, but then you got to know it's not the best advice. Whatever advice she gives you, maybe
I think
do the
she'll just
opposite.
trauma dump on you about something that happened to her,
Yeah,
to be honest.
not good.
Mariah.
Not good.
Mariah.
I liked that at the end of this episode, Kim was basically concerned about how they haven't met Zach's family. The first time that they're going to meet is at the wedding. And Carly was like, oh, I have to agree with her on that. And I was like, Carly, our families didn't meet until our wedding. Like the day or like the week, it was like we got married on a Sunday and it was like, met that Friday.
That was 10 years ago. I don't remember.
So
I blocked it all out.
So very quick to, oh, yes, I agree with that part. Okay, well, you should.
Well, because Zach's here's where I'm going to say. Zach's family should have a chance to meet these weirdos before he marries into the Plath family.
That's a bigger deal. Yeah, I think
But
that's
you guys,
important.
remember, Olivia also came from a family of weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So Zach's family may be weirdos too. Or they may think he's the weirdo. You know what I mean?
Here's the kicker. Every family's weird. Every family's weird in their own right. And so then it's like,
well, true.
What are you getting into, though, with the Plaths?
It's not always filmed.
Oh, it's different.
So these people can watch the weirdness on the television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like next week we're going to get to see a little therapy session between Veronica and Micah. And this is where the details on Tegan's OF page come out.
And this starts, the seeds are planted for the Plath family wedding blow up that happens when Isaac just hauls off and starts punching people.
But it's Tegan that has the OnlyFans, not Kaylin, but Kaylin is the one that's called a whore by Veronica. Well, Veronica's probably just going around calling everybody a whore.
Yeah.
She's just like, let me call everybody a whore and see who gets mad first.
She's going to pop off.
She's going to pop off and she's going to cause a bunch of melee and then leave it in her wake.
Go sleep at the hotel room.
And go sleep at the hotel. And then she did then make a production person fly home with her because she couldn't be alone because she was so upset. But I know that Zach and Lydia had left they had to go bang. They had left when all this had happened. But I wonder if any of his family they like to throw some back and snort some lines and they stayed.
If they got in on the melee here, yeah.
I really hope that none of Zach's family was there to witness any of it and that we're just going to, it seems like Lydia's finding out all of the details of what happened from watching it on TV.
Really?
after the
Did
fact.
she say that on the second part of the podcast I couldn't listen to?
Well, it sounds like so she knows, obviously she knows something happened, but even the stuff with the proposal, she was seeing it, on television for the first time, really, of how they treated Zac. She heard what Zac had to say about it, but seeing the way Ethan was acting and, Micah trying to roll and knock him over. And I think the reality of seeing the footage of it was a little different than hearing it secondhand.
What did she say on that Instagram? Because I don't have time to watch 18 parts.
Ugh.
I'm trying to remember. Really,
she
part
had to
4, she decided to tell people that she wasn't going to talk at all about her brothers.
Disclaimer.
That she's trying to lead by example and not talking about other people. So it really was sticking to the facts of what happened with Zac telling her he was hanging out with his friends because they were going to be going away out of the country. And in reality, he was in the airport trying to leave to fly to Cairo. And that while that was happening, Lydia called him because she was so upset about the conversation that she had with Ethan about how, he didn't like Zac, that he's on the phone with her in the airport and she's telling him about how Zac or Ethan doesn't like him and that she was devastated by it. And he's trying to rush her off the phone because he's trying to get on a plane.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's going to go meet up with Ethan and the rest of the family for the proposal the next day. And it's now you're hearing about Lydia's just falling to pieces over this interaction with Ethan where he's dumping on you the whole time. So it's like, oh, well, that's good. Which I think that set him up for as soon as Ethan started setting things on fire, it's like, oh, okay, I think we need to address this
I think
right
that's
away.
why he was willing to be combative with him. Not combative, but address something right in the moment. And he wasn't letting anything go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was probably already pissed that he had upset Lydia and that he knew that he wasn't in favor of them getting married. And so quite obviously, you're trying to fuck this up for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was probably the most interesting part of what she had to say.
She wasn't like, I can't believe my brothers did that. It was so disrespectful.
Oh, no, she's not going to that.
No,
she won't say anything like that.
She wouldn't say anything negative.
Did you think it was interesting on the Duggar podcast when she said, my mother left us when I was 17?
That was interesting. I did catch that when it was...
That phrasing.
Oh, yeah. That was very interesting because I feel like that's something that maybe that's what her and Amber have connected on, because Amber was also very quick to, well, if you're the one who's moving out, maybe you should leave the house because I don't know why dad has to move out if you're the one who's leaving the family.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear Lydia explain, my mother raised us this way because she was born in a chaotic family with an alcoholic mother. So she wanted to raise us this way and this bubble, blah, blah, blah. My mother left us when we were 17. You know what I mean? It's like all of this is because of my mother and then she left.
Yeah. It's
an interesting way to phrase it. And I doubt she's had any therapy over it, but she's probably had a lot of counseling from those two people that showed up at the, that couple that showed up at the proposal. They have probably sort of talked her through it. And maybe a PR person has told her a correct way to say that. But to me, it was very interesting wording. It wasn't, my parents got separated when I was 17. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, my parents split apart. We lived in different houses when I was 17 is when my mother left us.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that she seemed so close to Kim during the wedding planning because she was very, very upset with Kim when everything went down. And I think even when Kim was pretending to live on the boat, she knew what was really going on. And that was really a rift between them. So, hopefully.
She was Barry's full therapist. Barry would go on dates and sit in the park together and he would dump on her. And she was, 20 years old, getting off from her job at the bank.
Getting off from the job at the bank and then also making sure that Live, Laugh, and Love had everything that they need, getting them to school, getting their food and, cooking dinner and all sorts of stuff. So she was still running the house too, which was the other just terrible part of that, the parentification.
I really hope that they do genuinely wait a few years to have kids so that she gets to have the opportunity to enjoy life as a young adult and not, having been parentified in that scenario growing up, that she gets to experience some of life on her own terms before they end up having kids.
Yes. God, please let them wait. Yeah. I mean, they're so young. They could wait 5 years, and get to know each other and live together. as a married couple. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're pro them. I was like, this is exactly what Lydia needs. It's exactly what Lydia wants. I don't think she's brainwashed and thinking she wants it because the other kids aren't. I think this is just genuinely who she is. And she found Zac on that mountaintop.
Finding Zac, and then the way that they talked about it too in the Duggar podcast was where it was like the pieces that Zac had, like it was what the elements of a person that Lydia was looking for to be like seen and recognized. And Lydia is one to like gloss over things, but Zac is inquisitive and curious and like kind of gently pushes for answers of like, are you upset about something? Do we need to talk about something? And Lydia will try to brush things aside. And then they don't let that happen, though. So they do work through things. I honestly think they have the best shot at a successful relationship for an extended period of time amongst all of the Plath kids right now.
You're not feeling so positive about Tegan?
You know, it's
just... The rumor is Tegan's not around anymore.
Well, no, that's mixed, though, because then we've seen the Instagram post she reposted.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
I hope she ran away with her daughter and that they're far away from Ethan Plath.
I mean, I hope so. That is the hope. But it's just, there's not much there, you know? Like, there's not, it's just how long is she willing to stick around and put up with it?
Right.
I think
and to be on television with the person who's got such bad behavior and be like, ugh, he did what? He did, huh? And you guys, I think, follow the Reddit stuff more than I do. Once Veronica got on the Reddit and started popping off, I was following it quite a bit, and then I was just exhausted from it. Yeah. I was like, and so then I just started following her crazy Instagram when she would post like TLC executive phone numbers and stuff. That's great. That's a way to not get your contract paid out.
Yeah.
It was a lot on Reddit, and I keep going back to see if she's gone ahead and said anything else. But ever since the episode with the proposal and the fire aired, she has not posted one thing. So I think she's gone off the radar.
I think she's probably been threatened to legally up the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of unfortunate just because I think people feel like she's being quiet because her behavior is getting called out versus that she's maybe been silenced contractually.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I believe 98% of what she says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. 2%, I'm like, girl, come on now.
I think she has a tendency to exaggerate a bit, but it's unfortunate that people don't like her and her personality. So they've decided that she isn't at all a victim at all in this situation.
Right.
And that this is so different from what happened with Olivia when the playbook is like identical of the way that they treated her.
It's the exact same thing. And you also see Micah sort of with that beat down face that Ethan had, like trying to get through to his wife to be like, please, just make it easier on everybody. Just get on board. Just get on, if you could just be on board. And it's just that sad, like, don't make me pick between you and my family because it's going to have to be my family. It's just going to have to be. And then Barry out there, I don't know why they would think, well, we're such bad people. Look at me. I'm digging up roots. I'm Barry. God, I hate his stupid face so bad.
I know. And again, it's enraging that people think that he's a great guy.
No sense. Makes no sense.
Well, I'm excited for the rest of this season because we know if people thought it was crazy so far, it's just going to keep popping off. Veronica is here. She's going scorched earth. She's going to make sure she's blowing things up left and right, making sure she's launching insults at everybody possible on her way out.
Clearly. She's making herself heard. Yeah.
It is the Kelly Dodd effect. Just say the first thing that comes to the mind, no matter how mean it is, because later on you could go, I'm sorry. I called you stupid. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Will you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, guys, I have a podcast. It's called Pink Shade. I cover a lot of TLC shows like All the 90 Day Fiancé. I cover some delicious trash, Love After Lockup, and Love is Blind, 90 Day Hunt for Love, 90 Day UK. 90 Day UK gives me so much joy that I'm also covering Match Me Abroad, but nothing is giving me more joy than 90 Day UK right now. There's a drunken elderly lady on there who just falls down, and I love her.
You 90-day warriors. I don't know how you do it with all
my
the
goodness.
spin-offs.
I know.
Man, they're all 2 hours long. It's
I know.
a world that we cannot even fathom getting involved in from a
I know.
recap perspective.
I know. I'm currently doing 3. So we've got Happily Ever After. That's the main. That's the 2-hour one. We got Hunt for Love. That's the 1-hour one, which they just decided, hey, at the end, I think we'll just give them to you for 2 hours. I was like, it's fantastic. It really doesn't cut into my time at all.
Perfect.
And then 90 Day UK is on Discovery Plus, and it is just so good. And those are standalone seasons, so you don't have to know the people to jump in. So if you guys want something very light and hilarious that has terrible editing, that you're just like, wait, what? And then the show is over. It's really technically only 39 minutes because they just take all the ads out and stuff. Discovery Plus, 90 Day UK. And I'm covering all that. And you can follow me on Instagram, Pink Shade Pod, and see where to find all that. And you can get my fruit fly update. I have a fruit fly infestation in my house. So the whole time I'm talking, so that's also super fun to hear me talk about the fruit fly infestation in my home. We talk about that every episode.
Man, it's like you're on the other way. You're
It
getting
is.
the experience.
You get a mosquito net maybe or something. Yeah, to just around.
Could be immersive.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That is such a good idea.
Yeah.
I could hang it like this just around me.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that?
The Other Way is coming back too, right?
I know.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm telling you guys, if you just wanted tonight, we should just watch something light and fun. Put on 90 Day UK this current season. There's a woman on there named Zena, who is a drunken elderly lady who's gone to the Gambia to find herself yet another husband.
Oh my god.
And then if you go and look up on TikTok about the Gambia, it's called the Grambia because all these British grandmas go and try to find sex tourism, trying to find these, African husbands. It's
Oh my
wild.
God. We're going to have to check that out.
It's wild. She's like, we're going to the Gambia. He says he has no social media. And then the granddaughter pulls up her phone and is like, is this him? He has a Facebook and a TikTok and a LinkedIn.
Like Micah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, what? He said he didn't have social media. It's so great. It's so great, you guys. So great. So great.
All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.